Hi everyone. Today we'll see how we can connect the Claude account with the Salesforce org through MCP servers, and then followed by one use case also. So the first part is establishing the connection between the Claude and Salesforce. As we all know, we have to create a connected app. So since we have to use external client app, so I have created an external client app. Here, if you see in the OAuth settings, I have enabled OAuth settings and then provided the callback URL. This will be the Claude callback URL. So the callback URL, we can see it in the Salesforce official documentation. So here we have Postman, Cursor, Claude, and ChatGPT. So since now I'm going to connect with the Claude, so I'll be using this Claude callback URL. And then in the OAuth scope, we need to enable two scopes. One is perform the request at any time and then access the Salesforce hosted MCP servers. So these two scopes are mandatory. And in the authorization flows, we need to enable PKCE flow and JWT flow. And rest all settings are same. Once we create a external client tab, we can see this consumer key and secret button. So once we click on the button, we will be able to see the consumer's key and secret. We need to use these values while configuring the app in the Claude account. So apart from the creation of external client app, we need to enable one more setting, that is OAuth and OpenID Connect settings. Here uh, we have to enable the PKC authorization flow setting. If we don't enable this, we'll get an error, like we'll not be able to perform request from the Claude account. So this is a mandatory step. And then the next part is creating an MCP server. When you go to the setup and search for MCP servers, you will be land on this page. Click on the Salesforce MCP server. I want to delete an account from the Claude account. Let's say I am in the Claude. So if I ask Claude to delete some account here, okay, delete account with the name, I'll give some name, and Claude should be able to perform request to Salesforce, and then MCP server should be able to delete the account record and then send back the response to the Salesforce Claude account. So this is my use case. So for that purpose, I'll be creating a MCP server. I will name it as a delete account record. You can give it any name. The server is created, and this is the server URL. So here you see in the URL there is a name like custom. So this is a custom MCP server. And if you go to this tools tab here, currently it is showing empty. We can add tools. We can add these type of tools like Apex Actions, Apex REST, are enabled, and flows. So out of these four tools, I'll be using flows as an option. So in the interest of time, I have already created a flow, account record deletion flow. So first, let me add this tool and save it. If you go to the tools tab now, here I can see the tool is added. Okay. So I'll show you what the flow is doing. So this is my flow, which will take an input variable, that is account name. So available for input, there is a variable. So this flow is an auto launched flow basically, which we can trigger from the MCP server. Initially with the account name, account record will be fetched using get record element, and then we'll be storing the account record in a subject variable with ID, name, and owner ID fields. And then we'll be deleting the account record. And apart from deleting the account record, I want to notify the owner of the account, saying that the record has been deleted in the system. So I'm sending a bell notification. So for that, I'm just storing the account record owner ID into a list like collection variable, because the custom notification action is expecting a collection variable in the request. So For that, we have to create one custom notification type. So here I have already created a custom notification. If you go to setup, search for custom notifications. So I have created record deletion alert notification, which supports both desktop and mobile. Here I have hard coded the record ID of the custom notification, but it's not a best practice. You can add a get record element on the custom notification type object and use the ID of the record. Then this is some notification body I have given, and this is the notification title and recipient ID. So owner of the account record should be notified. So in the recipient ID, I'm passing the owner's IDs. And then in the target ID, since the record is going to be deleted, so if I pass the record ID, the user will not be able to see the page. So I'm just simply passing the same account record owner ID itself, just for a navigation purpose. And I have tested it out, and then I have activated this flow. So now let's go to the MCP server and activate this. Now take out the MCP server URL and let's configure the account in the Claude. So if you click here, settings, connectors, click on the customize and add new custom connector. You can give it any name. For now I'm giving Salesforce, and this is the remote MCP server URL. And then we have to pass the client ID and secret. So now the connector has been added. Let me click on connect. So since I already logged into Salesforce in the another tab, it is like auto approval kind of. Otherwise, it will ask me, redirect me to the login page and ask me to provide a username and password. So with which user I want, like Claude has to connect to the Salesforce. So currently it is connected to my Salesforce org with my username credentials. I am a system administrator in the Salesforce org. So whatever the request that you are performing from the Claude, so all those requests will be run in the user context. So if it is an Apex class, you have to use with sharing, and then if it is a flow, you can add an advanced setting like whether you want to run the flow in the user context or system context. So based on your settings, request will be performed. So by default, it will run in the user context. If a user doesn't have a particular set of permissions, so the request will not be performed as expected. So now let's see the account records. I'll, I'll create one account. So let's go and ask Claude to delete this account record. And make sure the connector is enabled before performing the request. So it is asking the permission. So it shows the account has been successfully deleted. So let's refresh this tab. The record has been deleted. And here I can see there is a notification. The account Krishna, which you owned, was deleted via the MCP server. This is a body of the notification that I have given in the flow, and this is the subject. So yeah, so that's how we can connect Salesforce with the Claude using MCP server. We can perform the same operations either from Cursor, Postman, or ChatGPT as well. I choose the Claude. Hope you all like the video.